My fiancée posted on Instagram. Last night of freedom before the ball and chain tomorrow. Grinning face with sweat, broken heart, with her ex in the background. I didn't comment, just updated my status to single and canceled the wedding venue. Her last night of freedom became permanent when she woke up to 200 missed calls. Original post. I, 31 male, was supposed to get married yesterday. Keyword, supposed to. The night before the wedding, I was at my bachelor party. Nothing crazy, just dinner and drinks with my groomsmen. We kept it chill because we had an early morning ahead. Wedding was scheduled for 2 p.m., needed to be at the venue by 10 a.m. for photos. Around 11 p.m., my best friend showed me his phone. Dude, you seeing this? My fiancée had posted on Instagram a group photo at what was supposedly her low-key bachelorette dinner. The caption, last night of freedom before the ball and chain tomorrow. Grinning face with sweat, broken heart. Ball and chain. About our marriage. Our wedding that was happening in less than 15 hours. But that wasn't even the worst part. In the background of the photo, clearly visible, was her ex. The one she dated for 4 years before me. The one who just wanted to stay friends after they broke up. The one I'd expressed concern about multiple times during our 2-year engagement. He was sitting at their table, at her bachelorette party, the night before our wedding. I zoomed in. He had his arm around one of her bridesmaids. Everyone looked drunk. My fiancée's eyes were glassy, her lipstick smeared. Something cold settled in my chest. That's messed up, my friend said. The caption, I mean. And isn't that her ex? Yeah. You gonna say something? I thought about it. Thought about calling her, texting her, commenting on the post. Thought about all the conversations we'd had about boundaries, about her ex, about respect. Then I thought about that caption. Ball and chain. Like marrying me was a prison sentence she was reluctantly accepting. No, I said, I'm not going to say anything. Instead, I opened Instagram and changed my relationship status from engaged to single. Then I called the wedding venue. Hi, this is groom's name. I have a wedding booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. I need to cancel. The night manager was confused. Sir, it's the night before. We can't refund. I'm not asking for a refund. I'm telling you the wedding is canceled. Please inform your staff. Are you sure? This is very last minute. I'm sure. Send the cancellation confirmation to my email. Thank you. Hung up. Called the caterer. Same conversation. Then the photographer, the DJ, the florist, the transportation company we'd hired for the wedding party. Took me 2 hours. Lost about $8,000 in non-refundable deposits that I'd paid. Didn't care. Better than the alternative. My groomsmen were watching me with a mix of shock and concern. You serious right now? One of them asked. Dead serious. Because of an Instagram post? Because of what that post says about how she views our marriage. I showed them the photo again. And because her ex is at her bachelorette party, the night before our wedding. And she didn't think that was worth mentioning. They got quiet. My phone started ringing around midnight. My fiancée. I declined. She called again. Declined. Then came the texts. Why did you change your status? People are asking me questions. This isn't funny. Call me. I turned my phone off and went to bed. Woke up the next morning, what would have been my wedding day, to 200 plus missed calls and 300 plus texts. From my fiancée, her mother, her bridesmaids, her sister, my own mother, my brother, cousins, friends. Everyone wanted to know what was happening. I texted one message to my immediate family group chat. Wedding is canceled. I'm fine. We'll explain later. Please don't contact fiancé's name. Then I sent one text to my ex-fiancée. The ball and chain has been removed. You're free. Permanently. Blocked her number. Blocked her on everything. That was 3 days ago. Update 1, 4 days later. So the fallout has been exactly as messy as you'd expect, but also weirdly validating. After I blocked my ex-fiancée, she showed up at my apartment. I didn't answer. She banged on the door for 20 minutes, crying and yelling. My neighbor actually called building security because she thought it was a domestic disturbance. Security escorted her out. I appreciated that they didn't make me deal with it directly. She tried coming back twice more that first day. The second time, I was home and watched through the peephole as she sat outside my door for an hour, alternating between crying and angrily texting someone. Eventually, she left. Her mother called from different numbers. I answered one by accident. How dare you humiliate my daughter like this? On her wedding day, do you have any idea how many people showed up to that venue? Good thing I called ahead, so the venue knew to turn them away. This is cruel, childish. She made one mistake with that Instagram post. The mistake wasn't the post. The post just showed me what she really thinks. And her ex being there showed me everything else. He's just a friend. She's known him for years. Cool. They can be friends together while she's single. You're throwing away 2 years over nothing. I'm walking away before it becomes 10 years and a divorce. She called me some choice names. I hung up. The financial stuff is messy. We've been living together for 8 months in my apartment. She'd moved in after selling her condo, so she had nowhere to go. I texted her sister, the only member of her family who seemed reasonable, and told her she had 1 week to collect my ex's belongings or I'd put them in storage and send her the bill. Her sister actually apologized to me. I tried to tell her that post was a bad idea and that inviting her ex was inappropriate. She said you were being controlling when you didn't want him around. I wasn't controlling. I was establishing boundaries that she repeatedly ignored. I know. For what it's worth, I don't blame you. That conversation actually helped. At least someone in that family had sense. The ex-fiancée tried a different approach. Had her maid of honor reach out to mediate. We met at a coffee shop. I agreed because I figured I should hear what they had to say. The maid of honor sat down looking uncomfortable. Look, she knows she screwed up. The caption was a joke that landed badly. She'd been drinking. She wasn't thinking. And her ex being there, he's friends with some of the bridesmaids. He just showed up to a bachelorette party the night before her wedding. And she was fine with it. She didn't want to make a scene. But she's fine making a ball and chain joke about marrying me on social media where 500+ people can see it. Silence. She wants to talk to you, the maid of honor finally said. She's devastated. She loves you. She made a stupid mistake. She made multiple choices that showed me exactly how she feels about our relationship. I'm not interested in talking. So that's it. You're just done. Yeah, I am. She's already lost her deposits. The venue, the dress, everything. That's like $15,000. I lost $8,000. We're both adults who made choices. Mine was better. The maid of honor looked at me like I was heartless. Didn't care. She left. But here's where it gets interesting. Remember her ex? The one in the background of that Instagram post? Turns out he'd been a lot more involved in her bachelorette party than just sitting in the background. My ex's cousin, who was also a bridesmaid, reached out to me. She'd felt uncomfortable at the party and left early, but she wanted me to know the truth. According to her, the ex had been invited intentionally. My ex-fiancé had claimed it was fine because we're all adults. They'd been drinking heavily. Lots of flirting between my ex and her ex. At one point, they disappeared together for like 45 minutes. The cousin didn't know what happened during that time, but when they came back, my ex-fiancé's lipstick was completely gone and her hair was messed up. I left after that, the cousin told me. I couldn't watch it. I almost called you that night, but I didn't want to ruin your bachelor party. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You're telling me now. That's what matters. So there it was. The night before our wedding, my fiancé had likely hooked up with her ex, or at minimum, got very close to it. And I'd almost married her anyway. I forwarded the cousin's message to my mother, who'd been giving me grief about throwing away a good relationship. Her tune changed immediately. Oh, honey, I'm so sorry. You did the right thing. The family pressure eased up after that. Turns out evidence of cheating makes people a lot more understanding. My ex-fiancé tried one more time. Sent a long email through a mutual friend's account since I had her blocked everywhere. The email was 5 pages of apologies, excuses, and promises. It was just stress about the wedding. It doesn't mean anything to me. I was drunk and stupid. We can go to couples therapy. Please don't throw away what we have. What we had was a relationship where she viewed marrying me as a ball and chain and spent the night before our wedding with her ex. I didn't respond. My brother asked if I was doing okay. Honestly, yeah, I'm relieved. Relieved if she'd been better at hiding it. I'd be married to someone who doesn't respect me. Better to find out now than later. He agreed. The ring was a whole thing. I'd spent $7,500 on it. She technically should return it since the wedding didn't happen, but she'd stopped responding to requests for it back. My lawyer sent a formal letter. She has 30 days to return it, or I'm taking her to small claims court. We'll see what happens. For now, I'm just existing, going to work, seeing friends, living my life, not crying over someone who was probably cheating on me less than 24 hours before a wedding. Update 2, 2 weeks later. Okay, so things escalated in ways I didn't expect. First, the ring situation. My ex-fiancée refused to return it. Her reasoning, according to her lawyer's response to my lawyer, the emotional distress of the canceled wedding and public humiliation entitles her to keep the ring as compensation. My lawyer actually laughed when she read that. That's not how the law works. An engagement ring is a conditional gift. No wedding, you return the ring. We're filing the small claims case. We filed. Court date is set for next month. But the really interesting stuff started happening on social media. Remember how I'd canceled everything but lost deposits? Turns out my ex-fiancée decided to blame me publicly for wasting everyone's time and money. She posted a long Instagram story about how I abandoned her at the altar. Lie. I canceled the night before. How I was cruel and heartless for canceling without talking to her first. I saw everything I needed to see, and how I'd manipulated her throughout our relationship. The comments were split. Some people supported her. Others were calling her out, pointing out that she'd posted the ball and chain caption and her ex was in the photo. Then someone, I don't know who, leaked screenshots of her Instagram DMs with her ex from the weeks leading up to the wedding. They were damning. Lots of missing you, and wish things had worked out differently between us, and sometimes I wonder what would have happened if we'd stayed together. One particularly bad one from 2 weeks before the wedding. Getting cold feet TBH. What if I'm making a mistake? His response, you know where I stand. I never stopped loving you. Her, I know. This is so complicated. The screenshots spread fast. Suddenly, her narrative of me being the bad guy crumbled. People started commenting, asking why she was marrying someone, if she was texting her ex about having doubts. Her response was to delete her Instagram account entirely. Too late, though. The damage was done. My phone started blowing up with messages from mutual friends apologizing for initially taking her side. Apparently, once people saw those DMs, they realized I'd made the right call. Her mother tried one more time, left a voicemail that was honestly unhinged. You've ruined my daughter's reputation. She can't show her face anywhere. You leaked those messages. I didn't leak them. I don't even know who did. But I wasn't going to correct her. She's depressed. She can't eat. This is your fault. Actually, it's her fault for texting her ex about having second thoughts 2 weeks before a wedding. But sure, blame me. If anything happens to her, it's on you. That voicemail went straight to my lawyer as evidence of harassment. Then came the financial drama. My ex-fiancée's family had contributed $12,000 to the wedding. My family had contributed $10,000. I'd personally paid about $18,000, including the deposits I lost. Total wedding budget, $40,000. After cancellations, we'd lost roughly $23,000 in non-refundable deposits between both families and me. Her family started demanding I reimburse them for their contribution since I'd canceled the wedding. My lawyer's response, your daughter's actions the night before the wedding, including entertaining her ex and publicly referring to the marriage as a ball and chain, constituted a material breach of the engagement agreement. My client owes you nothing. They threatened to sue. My lawyer told them to go ahead. We have documentation of her behavior, witness statements, and her own Instagram post. You'll lose and pay court costs. They backed down, but my ex-fiancée didn't. She filed a small claims suit against me for emotional distress and reputational damage. Amount requested, $10,000. My lawyer was baffled. She cheated on you, or at minimum had an emotional affair, and she's suing you? The court date is scheduled for 2 months from now. My lawyer is preparing a counterclaim for the ring value plus court costs. This is going to be fun, she said. I love cases where the other side has no legal standing. In the meantime, life has been weird. I've had to explain the situation to coworkers, extended family, random acquaintances who saw the wedding was canceled on social media. Most people are supportive once they hear the full story. A few think I overreacted. Those people get a simple response. If you think I overreacted, you'd probably be fine marrying someone who views you as a ball and chain and texts their ex about having doubts. That's not me. Shuts them up pretty quick. I ran into one of her bridesmaids at a grocery store. She looked uncomfortable when she saw me. "Hey," she said quietly. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry." We told her not to post that caption. And inviting her ex was a terrible idea. We tried to talk her out of it. "I appreciate you trying. For what it's worth, you dodged a bullet." She's been difficult since the wedding got canceled, blaming everyone but herself. Sounds about right. She hesitated, then said, her ex dumped her, by the way, after everything came out. Said he didn't want to be involved in the drama. I didn't ask for that information, but I'm not gonna lie. It felt like karma. The bridesmaid continued. She thought he'd be there for her after you left. Turns out he just wanted attention. Now she's alone and blaming you for everything. She made her choices. I made mine. We parted ways. That night, I got a message from my ex-fiancée's sister, the reasonable one who'd helped me get my ex's stuff out of my apartment. "I know we're not close, but I wanted to let you know my sister is telling people you cheated on her. That's why you canceled the wedding. Just a heads up." Now, she was lying about me cheating? The audacity. I forwarded the message to my lawyer. "Add this to the harassment file." She responded, "Already documenting everything. When we get to court, the judge is going to see a pattern of behavior from her." You're fine. Honestly, I'm tired. Tired of the drama, the lies, the constant defense of a decision that should have been obviously correct. But I'm also at peace. Because every new piece of information that comes out confirms what I already knew. I made the right choice. Update 3. Final. 1 month later. The dust has mostly settled. Time for the final update. The small claims court case happened last week. It was something. My ex-fiancée showed up with her mother and a binder full of evidence of emotional distress. Photos of her crying. Screenshots of therapy appointment confirmations that started after the canceled wedding. A letter from her therapist about her mental health struggles. My lawyer brought the Instagram post. The DMs with her ex. The witness statement from her cousin about the bachelorette party. My cancellation confirmations showing I'd called vendors the night before, not the day of. And receipts showing who paid for what. The judge was older, no nonsense. She looked tired from the start. My ex's lawyer argued that I'd abandoned her at the altar without warning and caused severe emotional distress and reputational harm. My lawyer stood up. "Your Honor," the plaintiff posted on social media the night before the wedding, referring to marriage as a ball and chain. Her ex-boyfriend was present at her bachelorette party. We have witness testimony suggesting inappropriate behavior occurred. My client saw this post at 11 p.m. and made the decision to cancel. He notified all vendors that same night, not the morning of the wedding. The plaintiff was notified via text the next morning. There was no public abandonment. The judge looked at my ex-fiancée. "Did you post that caption?" "It was a joke," she said, crying. "I was drunk. I didn't mean it." "And was your ex-boyfriend at your bachelorette party the night before your wedding?" "He's just a friend." "Yes or no?" "Yes, but..." And according to these messages, the judge held up printed copies of the DMs. "You were texting him about having doubts about the marriage 2 weeks prior?" My ex went silent. The judge sighed. "Your emotional distress is not the defendant's legal responsibility. You engaged in behavior that reasonably caused him to question the marriage. He acted on that information. Case dismissed." Then she looked at me. "I understand you have a counterclaim for the engagement ring?" "Yes, Your Honor. She's refused to return it despite the wedding not occurring." The judge turned to my ex. "Where is the ring?" "I sold it," she said quietly. The courtroom went dead silent. "You sold it?" The judge looked incredulous. "I needed the money for therapy and..." "How much did you sell it for?" $4,500. I'd paid $7,500. She'd sold my ring for barely half its value out of spite. The judge was not happy. "You sold an engagement ring that legally should have been returned to the purchaser. That's conversion of property. I'm ordering you to pay the defendant $7,500, the original purchase price, within 30 days. If you fail to pay, he can pursue additional legal action. Do you understand?" My ex nodded, crying harder. Court adjourned. Outside the courthouse, my ex-fiancée's mother tried to approach me. My lawyer stepped between us. Do not contact my client. Any further communication will be considered harassment. Her mother backed off, glaring. I haven't heard from any of them since. The $7,500 payment is due in 3 weeks. My lawyer says if she doesn't pay, we'll garnish her wages. Either way, I'm getting compensated. The financial hit from the canceled wedding was about $8,000 in lost deposits. Getting $7,500 back from the ring means my total loss is $500. For $500, I avoided marrying someone who didn't respect me, was probably cheating, and viewed our marriage as a prison sentence. Best $500 I ever spent. Life has been quiet. Good quiet. I've been focusing on work. Reconnected with some friends I'd neglected during the relationship. Started a new hobby, woodworking. I'm building a bookshelf. My family has been great. My mother admitted she never really liked my ex-fiancé, but didn't want to say anything. She always seemed like she was doing you a favor by being with you. I hated that. My brother took me out for drinks. You know what's crazy? You handled this better than most people would. No screaming, no drama from your end. Just clean decisions. What was there to scream about? She showed me exactly who she was. I believed her. Am I dating? No, not interested right now. Trust issues are real. My therapist says that's normal after something like this. But I'm okay. Actually okay. Not pretending to be okay. Genuinely fine. The other day, I saw my ex-fiancée posted again on Instagram. She made a new account. Some quote about betrayal and learning who your real friends are. I didn't engage. Didn't even screenshot it. Just kept scrolling. Someone asked me recently if I ever regretted canceling the wedding. If I thought I'd been too hasty. No, not even a little. That Instagram caption wasn't a joke. It was the truth slipping out. She viewed marrying me as a burden. And when given the choice between respecting our relationship and entertaining her ex the night before our wedding, she chose him. I just made sure her last night of freedom became permanent. She went out of the ball and chain. She got it. As for me, I'm free too. Free from someone who never valued what we had. Free from a marriage that would have ended in divorce. Free from years of questioning whether I was enough. That's worth way more than $8,000. That's worth everything.